Hey everybody, it is Mike. It is Saturday. That means it is time for the Saturday Slashback Challenge. This challenge is brought to us every week by our friend Joe over at the Horror Man. Every week he gives us a theme. We watch a movie, we do a little review, um, and it's just kind of a fun thing to do. So if you haven't done it, do it. It's really a good time, actually. This week was watching movies, unrestricted movies, unrestricted slashers is the basic challenge. That basically means watch a movie that is not rated R, a slasher movie. So it could be a PG, a PG-13, or an unrated version, or some other rating if there's such a thing. I bantered around with several movies, and finally I just decided, I have not watched the unrated version of the remake of The Hills Have Eyes since I bought the collection on Blu-ray. So I thought, let's revisit this. I love the first one, and the remake is actually good. Wes Craven, who did the original, actually gave this high marks. Um, basically the story of this particular movie is we have a group of, I don't know, inbreds, hackbreds, whatever, that live out in the mountains of New Mexico. And they enjoy eating people, basically. So this particular movie was directed by Alexander Aja, I think is how you say that. He also did the screenplay. It stars quite a few people that you might recognize, specifically Kathleen Quinlan, who plays Ethel Carter, the mother. Vanessa Shaw plays her daughter, Lynn Carter. She was in Hocus Pocus, among other things. Dan Bird plays the youngest of the family, Bobby Carter. And then we have Billy Drago showing up as Papa Jupiter. He's one of the things, whatever, cannibals, whatever they are. And then we have Emily DeRaven, who plays Brenda Carter, and Aaron Stanford, who plays Doug Burkowski. He is kind of our champion. He is married to Lynn, and they have a child named Catherine, and these people all play a part in the movie. And then Ted Levine plays the father of the group. He plays Big Bob Carter. So we have this group, this family, that is traveling from Ohio to San Diego, California. And on their way there, they stop at a gas station in New Mexico, and the gas station attendant tells them about this other route that's faster. Unfortunately, he's doing that because that's how he keeps the cannibals from eating him, I guess. So the family heads off, and they run over some barbed wire, which punctures their tires. So we have Dad taking off to see if he can get help, and he ends up getting caught by one of the characters. There's a whole group. So and I'll never remember all of their names, but we have Papa Jupiter, we have Lizard, we have Big Brain, Google, Pluto, and then the little girl, the only girl mutant that there is Ruby, and I think there's Cyst, Big Mama, Venus, and Mercury. I think that's it. And then we have a couple German shepherds in this movie as well. So as the dad is taking off to see what he can do, Bobby, one of the dogs get loose, so Bobby goes after him, and one of the mutants has killed one of the dogs. Bobby ends up kind of getting scared and ends up falling and knocking himself out. But Ruby saves him, Then Bobby comes back and he tells him his story, and while he's doing that, two of the mutants break into the camper. Um, at this point, Doug is gone. He's going to get help, um, but the mutants end up killing Lynn and Ethel by shooting them, and then they kidnap the baby. So Doug comes back, and they end up seeing everything that has happened, and sometime in all of this craziness, they hear Big Bob screaming outside. They run out there and they realize that he is attached to this tree that is on fire. And by the time they put the fire out, he's dead. So we have a big chunk of the family gone. So then comes the hunt for the baby, Catherine. And lots of blood, lots of interesting deaths during this time, mainly to the mutants. And it's pretty exciting. It's a really well-made movie. The characters are all different and interesting. I really hated, and I knew it was coming because it came in the first one, the deaths of the mother and the one sister. But it is what it is. And this unrated version is pretty graphic. I mean, they had to, when it was first released, it got an NC-17, so they had to bring it down to get the R rating. And so this one has those scenes put back in. So pretty brutal. I will admit it took me a while to like this particular version simply because I like the other people in the first one, in the original. Sometimes you get attached to how those characters play their roles, but pretty good if you like a lot of blood and intense graphic situations. You will love this remake. It is very good. I think I'm going to go ahead and watch part 2 now since I've got the collection open and ready to go. But yeah, this was a pretty decent movie. The setting, of course, is awesome. It's in the desert. Really, the only respite these people have are their cabins, or is their little camper, and then that's not very safe for them, as they end up finding out. It does have survivors at the end, which I appreciate, and not just girls for a change. It was actually, there was 3 people, 3 adults and the baby. So they do get the baby back. And there's a nice little twist as to how that happens. So if you enjoy these kinds of movies, I definitely recommend The Hills Have Eyes remake, and it is the unrated version. So until next week, when we will do another review of a movie for our main man Joe, this is it. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.